Ever since they started following me and trying to intimidate me, like I told you, they always try and have people with red hair more and more and more. But I want to make a video where I go over what they did with the movies specifically. Now, after I started filming them because of their activity started increasing, I started noticing them placing all the books weird and a lot of other activities, I call it, that they do. Now, this day, they put the Barbie movie differently, the Free Guy movie differently, and the Medea movie differently, and the Rocket Man movie differently. Now, what are the common themes between all these? Something to do with gay, transgender, and a girl, and a free guy. So they want me to think that I have to be some sort of gay or trans woman in order to be a free guy. I know this sounds insane, but look what matches up next. That same day, all the cards were rearranged or arranged normally. And look at that. A girl with red hair, and the card is arranged differently. It was placed, I guess you should say. And this is the same day. So all around the store, there was all this stuff that was misplaced, but it had a common theme, a very particular common theme about being a girl. Now watch this. Now this is that same day where I see a dog and a transgender lady. Now I know that doesn't seem related, but it actually is. Now they were sending me a lot of almost subliminal messages about me being a girl and a dog too, because they want to say I'm like a dog or in a pup play or like their dog, because like I told you, they're lizard reptilian beings that run the whole world basically, and they're after me for what I know. If you look at my Facebook, you would obviously be able to tell that the government's after me. This is what they put on my page the other day by J.C. Chavert. Now, believe it or not, like I told you, they're infiltrators. They have infiltrated society, and most humans, if not all of them, can't tell who's who. And this is a real reality that's going on, by the way. And they're after me for all the stuff I talk about. And they have some weird sort of copycat disorder where they will literally try and copycat me or opposite me. And I'll explain what that means another time. Now, JC, because they want me to think that I'm Jesus Christ and that I should be like a girl, and they also try and tell me that they're like my dad and other versions of me. Believe it or not, I've had full conversations with them, if you can just believe me. With all the stuff that I preach about on my Facebook, or if you want to pause it, you could understand why people like that would be after me. And that they have been, because I've been talking about stuff like this on my Facebook for a long time. They've also targeted me online in other ways too, where they started wearing wigs, and this guy's page wasn't like this before. All of a sudden, he started putting stuff with dogs and wigs and making songs with dogs and him in a dress and all sorts of crazy stuff. If you look, that dog looks like it's in pain too. I know this sounds crazy. It's one of the most craziest, insane things to ever say that not only am I saying I'm Jesus Christ, not only am I saying there's people after me and it's a they, but I'm also saying that the Illuminati is real and I'm saying that aliens are real. It's the four most craziest things that can ever be said. And I have evidence of it all if you're willing to just stop thinking that you know more than me and that it's impossible. It's not impossible. It's very, very real. And if you want to go from what a normal human would think is like, well, it's not likely, but it's not impossible. That's an appropriate answer. It's not likely, but it's not impossible. Well, what if I told you it's more than likely? In fact, it's very possible. Now, I know this sounds crazy again, but like I mentioned, other videos where they kept sending subliminal messages over and over and over and over again of being a little girl and like their dog and all sorts of crazy, crazy stuff. And then they started targeting me online. Now, why would the Illuminati, the deep state lizard reptilian people, want me to be gay or transgender? Because they know that God is real. They think they're making me sin. They think they can make my dad hate me. They don't understand that it's basically just me, and I'll explain religion another time. But for now, no matter who you believe I am, no matter who you believe these other people are, they're hunting me and trying to intimidate me. Now, there were days where, like I mentioned, this isn't just people throwing stuff all around the stores. That's somewhat normal. What's not normal about this is the fact that it all has common themes, and I can tell it's placed, not just thrown, not just put away, placed. Like, think of me like Sherlock Holmes. I'm onto something here, and I need someone who would have to be a literal genius to understand that this is real. Now, ignore the whole Jesus and alien stuff, ignore the demon stuff. Now, what if you just started seeing people toying with your food? Like, I used to always, at first, this all started out, it progressed. Now, they used to always put my drinks slightly different, where I would go into the store, the same store every day to get a drink, and my drink would start being placed slightly different. Or I would think about buying a food, and then I would see that food everywhere, misplaced. Like, if I wanted to buy gummy worms, I would see gummy worms on the ground outside the store, and I started saying to myself, well, that's kind of strange. I knew it was them doing it, but I didn't really care, and I didn't think to film it because I knew I would sound insane and crazy. After a while, they started thinking I was weak. I think they thought that I would cave in or be intimidated by them, and now I have them on video. And if you watch my other videos and combine it all together, which is what someone would need to do, like a CSI investigation, you would understand how this all happened and what it means. Another thing is that they started putting gloves everywhere and have, as you can see, where I usually buy food, they put a girl, I don't even know what that is, hair dye near 666, which represents the devil, believe it or not. I don't know if you know religion or not, but 666 is the devil's number. It talks about it even in Revelations, which is the end of the Bible. This is 2 days later from the movies being misplaced. Now watch this. As you can see, all the movies are normal. House, Anastasia, oh no, Anastasia isn't normal. House, Friends, all that stuff is normal. As you can see, the Barbie movie and the Anastasia movie is placed slightly differently. It's the only movies that are placed differently. Both about girls, the common themes that I told you about. Now, this guy has a Jesus shirt on, and there's another girl about, like, not even 20 feet away that has a Satan shirt on. Because they want me to think that Jesus is Satan and Satan is Jesus. That is just me turning around and walking over 5 feet, by the way. And the same day, or the next day, there's Frozen, which again has a girl with like reddish hair in it, near on Valentine's Day, with subliminal messages about being their Valentine. They're trying to seduce me. I know it sounds strange, but if you know religion and you know what sin is, you would know they're trying to make me sin and seduce me into money and power to be a woman. And also, they started dyeing people's hair reds everywhere around me to the point where it wasn't normal. 1 in 100 people usually have red hair, maybe a little more, like 2, 3. And it started being like 1 out of 10 people walk around with red hair like that. It's not normal. Like maybe like 7 or 8. It's not normal at all. Now this here is pretty creepy. Now see how that girl has her fingers like that, where I'm putting my crosshairs? Now watch this. It's me explaining that they're all basically criminals. Because I knew she'd be standing there like that, so I did this to prove that they're all criminals and I'm not human. If you look at the timing, 7:29, 6:57. It's the same place. It's the same exact video. Now, this is the day. It's only not even a day later. This all happened within 2 or 3 days. All the movies are normal except for Barbie and House, because I started talking about House, and I even have a cane. Here, I did not have a cane, but still, I had a limp. If you look at some of my videos, I have a limp. I'm not just walking around drunk or something, which is what one person said. And it was sad because I got in a motorcycle accident. I'm not drunk. Um, so they noticed me talking about House and started putting Barbie next to House. You should see another video where it was only a couple days, within a couple days from here when it happened, and there's a House DVD cassette, and then there's female glasses on top of the right where it says House right here. Now this girl started talking about how she was Jesus, and it happens to say no right here, and that was me proving that I could know when and what they'll say based on my actions and their actions, and I could time it out so I could be right here and have her talking about being Jesus, and it says no right there to prove that I'm not human. Now, there were gender arrangement hormone therapy or something files in here, and there's a guy that sells flowers, and this is his bike, and after a while he started wearing a Jesus shirt. Because, like I told you, they want to pretend to be me in front of me. Many will come in my name. They are literally, many of them, pretending to be me right in front of me. And they want me to sin. They think that if they make me into a girl, or seduce me, or they want to pretend to be my dad, they want to say I'm a little girl and intimidate me. There's so many things. They've sent me subliminal messages with like pliers and a mask before. They've done all sorts of crazy stuff by putting like dogs and baby carriages and stuffed animals in the kids' seats when I'm walking by. I'll walk by and see stuffed animals in the kids' seats at like, you buy that Walmart, like a car seat and stuff like that. There's so many insane, crazy things that they do where this is just the surface. If you think this is creepy to see within like 3 or 4 days, then imagine watching my whole 1 hour and 17-minute long video, and that's even scratching the surface if I really were to explain everything to you and how it all happened. Seeing people walk by all the time with one glove on because they wanna turn me into a pedophile, or they want to insinuate that they're pedophiles. I'm pretty sure they want to insinuate that they're pedophiles, but they seem to wanna make me into them. Because if they're all boys and girls and they want me to be gay and trans, and they want to turn me evil by torturing me, then they're basically trying to turn me into them. And they want to say Jesus is Satan and Satan is Jesus. Now watch this. At some point after like a couple weeks of them doing all these signs every single day, which I have evidence of on video. If you watch all my videos, I've been documenting them slowly. Um, they did this. Now they sent me this after talking to them. They started saying that they were alien infiltrators. Now, I'm not saying that that's literally them shapeshifting, because I know what some people might think. They might think that's the sound going and doing a lizard reptilian noise. That's true, but it's not a human doing it. Now, it's not a. I don't know if that's a literal reptilian person going snake noises, or if that's just one of them making snake noises. But they did send me that, and that guy did tell me that he's an alien infiltrator. Watch this. This is where they say something to me. Now, these two people, talked about being alien infiltrators. Jesus is Satan, Satan is Jesus. That's not true. And he also told me that he's an alien spy and infiltrator. He said to me, I'm a spy and alien infiltrator. Now, this is the time when I was talking about being Jesus, and he said, this is us. It's like, what do you mean? This is his only response to this. This is us. Jesus is Satan. Satan is Jesus. Them talking about being a spy and infiltrator to me, and how do you expect to infiltrate this planet if you're going around telling everyone? You can tell they're copying me too, which is something I've been talking about since the very beginning of me making these videos, is that this guy's trying to copy me. If you look at the whole conversation, you say he's here to unite people, this and that. save the planet, and he's saying he's an alien and stuff like that. He's like, oh, you know what that? He said, you're saying an alien too. I am too, and that is a universal code. They want to subvert me and basically make me think that they're just on my side. They think of me like I'm just some stupid human. And I don't mean humans are stupid. I mean they literally think in their heads like, well, he's part of the same intelligence level as some human, and they just think eventually I'll just believe in them. Like the government is tricked into being with them. And now, like I told you, they want to turn me into a little girl and a dog and all these crazy things. And there's a girl on Facebook that Hayden Lonsdale used to live with the body I took over. I know it sounds crazy, but just bear with me with all that's going on. This girl that's like 12 years old took Hayden Lonsdale's name, and that's exactly the body I'm in. Now, I might talk weird, but I can explain why. But either way, there's people after me, and it's the Illuminati, and they're after the knowledge I have and what I know. They've also been targeting me online in other ways, where for a while I couldn't message anyone on Facebook. And they started putting commercials everywhere of girls with red hair and ads, making movies even, that movie that's out right now. Other movies, other TV shows, all about girls with red hair because they're targeting me. This ad right here, no download, free to play. They're targeting me online and offline everywhere I go because of the knowledge I have. And if the knowledge I have is so advanced that you guys just think it sounds schizophrenic, then there's something to this. I mean, why can't I message that many people? I don't think that's normal. And if they're doing that to everyone now, that's even more not normal. I even tried to message myself from a second Facebook and it wouldn't work. So that would mean that people couldn't message me either. I mean, that's really, really not normal. Social media outlet site. I couldn't get on Omegle for a while, and I still can't. I can't get on all these chat sites. I can't. I mean, I've been trying to reach out on every single site that you can even talk to people to reach out, and no one even wants to be able to listen to this, which I can't blame them. But at the same time, it's like I need people to listen to my evidence. It's more than enough evidence. As you can see, all these ads started coming out. It wasn't like this before. All these ads and movies, people dyeing their hair red around me, and celebrities too, like Billie Eilish. Pictures of Billie Eilish I started seeing everywhere on my YouTube. Of her with red hair, all this crazy, crazy stuff. Because, like I said, they want to intimidate me into thinking I'm a girl or a trans and like their dog or in a pup play. I mean, these are crazy, insane people. They're trying to shut me up. They're trying to make it so I can't tell anyone. And there's not one person who thinks this is suspicious at all. I think that I would just assume if you watched all this and didn't get it, I'd say there's like an 80% chance you're just one of them. Like this day, I started talking about Lilo and Stitch, and all of a sudden there's a Stitch shirt on. This is before McDonald's and all that. At the toys at McDonald's are now Stitch. Now and then she has a shirt on that just says God. That's it. And like I told you, they want me to think that they're me and I'm them. They want me to think that they're God. They want me to think that I'm a girl. I mean, they've done so many crazy, strange subliminal messages. It doesn't make sense. And when I say it doesn't make sense, they're being so obvious about it that it's like I thought humans would be all over this. I thought they'd view it as like someone found evidence of the Illuminati, and now it's just I guess maybe it's because they're not government agents. Is it because there you think they're just normal civilians? You think it's impossible that there's that many aliens around that it would be impossible? I mean, out of all people to be hunting, right? The guy that says he's Jesus Christ, the guy that talks about the one world government and the Illuminati, all of a sudden has them hunting him. Kind of would make sense now, wouldn't it? What are the odds that almost every single YouTube ad, like more than half of them, are girls with red hair? And all these movies coming out, all these ads, all these video game ads, everything is all, like I said, they're hunting me online. And if you were to watch every single video I ever made from beginning to end, you would really, really see that I'm only telling you like 10%. And especially the way it happened. I mean, all of a sudden seeing everyone around you dye their hair red, seeing the food you're about to buy being placed differently, and then seeing a bunch of stuff being placed differently, but it always has to do with a dog or a girl or a kid or insinuating something about that. I mean, that's pretty terrifying. I mean, and then seeing people online targeting you, people online talking about being alien infiltrators and spies and aliens, and one of them names is Lucifer. I mean, that's pretty insane, don't you think? I mean, if that wouldn't raise your alarm, I don't know what would. I mean, you live in a reality where if you read my Facebook, you would understand why I understand that maybe humans wouldn't understand this until it's too late. As you can see here, there's a girl with red hair saying, "Okay, Jesus, calm down, mate. We believe you." And it's like, I know it sounds crazy. That's something a normal human might say and can say and still be a human. But she started talking about all this crazy stuff, and I could tell it's her because I was watching this video, and she just says, "Okay, Jesus, calm down, mate. We believe you." I was trying to reach out on a live chat to see if anyone would at least talk to me, and no one would even talk to me. And she said something about being Satan's daughter. So she wants me to think that I'm Satan's daughter. That's what she's trying to insinuate there. And again, like I said, now mix this with everything else I've talked about. It's literally the equivalent of someone being after you that's so obvious, but no one will believe you because they think it must be impossible. See? As you can see here, another ad, a girl with red hair. Ads, movies, people singing, people telling me that they're alien infiltrators. That doesn't alarm anyone. Now, I'd say the only option is you think I work with these people? You think I'm one of them? You think they're paid actors? I mean, how much money do you think I have to make actual real ads? You know how much money it would take to get this on YouTube from someone who's just in Miami? How much money would it take to get those ads? What do you think? I made that new movie, that kids movie with the girl with red hair? All these movies and TV shows of girls with people with red hair? The Infiltrator? What do you think? I went on Facebook and that guy's in France. That guy has been having. Now, this commercial I saw, and it was literally a girl on a USAA commercial, and her name was Hayden. And I just happened to see at all these other ads. It was like an approaching wave where it progressed from me seeing barely any people with red hair and zero ads in movies of people with red hair to all of a sudden a bunch of people. Another girl with like reddish hair. All this crazy stuff. I mean, I don't know how to explain anymore how that's not normal. Now look at here, like I told you, right around that time I was talking about house, all of a sudden there's female glasses right here, and it says he, and then there's female glasses. I told you, they want me to think that if I ever want to be a boy again, I have to be like a girl for them. It's pretty insane, crazy logic, I know, but I'm not. I'm just reporting on their logic. You should have seen this day, where I saw the order is out of place. Where I saw a guy with a frog, stuffed animal, and a dog, and then this kid had a green lizard person, and then there was another guy with a purple type of dinosaur, and he was holding it near his crotch, all within 5 minutes of each other, because they're trying to insinuate. And they've also left green stuffed animals everywhere before, all to intimidate me. The dragon. Another thing about this guy is he even said, "How have it your way," when I was at Burger King. Like, is this okay normal conversation? He said, "This is us." And if you view that one more reply, it has nothing to do with this or this. It's just some random person. And this is us. What do you mean by this is us? Have it your way. Because they're trying to intimidate me. They actually think I'll get scared of them. The only thing I'm scared of is humans not noticing this, because I'm not going to lie. I planned on and for everything being back in a human body, but I can't risk humans being so blind that they don't understand that this doesn't mean something. You don't want to believe I'm Jesus? Fine. Why are all these people after me then? You don't want to believe that the Illuminati is real? Cool. Then why is the government after me? And why is the government seemingly normal people, normal civilians on the ground everywhere? How is that possible? And why would the government want me to turn into a little girl and a dog? Unless they thought maybe sin was real. They thought that being transgender and gay was a sin. Which is exactly, I have to fit all these puzzle pieces together for all you because it's so obvious to me that I'm being hunted when they even talk to my internal monologue. Like, when I'm just thinking to myself inside my head, they will try and match up their conversations to, to talk to me in weird ways. Where I've said stuff like, oh, you're Jesus? And they'll be like, yup. They'll literally say stuff like that to me, and then they'll make it look like they're just on the phone. They do weird, crazy stuff to me all the time. They're telling me I'm failing my main command. How do you expect to infiltrate this planet if you're on Facebook telling everyone who and what you are? And as you can see, this is so obvious to me. I say, how's your day today? I mean, it's just so obvious it's them. I mean, whose side would you really want to be on? My side? Who doesn't seem scared at all, is bored basically. Dot dot dot. Hell for a dot dot dot. How do you expect to infiltrate this planet? I mean, that's their response. Now, if you want to say I'm working with this guy, I understand. But what am I paying him with? If you want to say this, I asked him, then what about all the commercials? What about all the movies? What about all the music? You think I'm in touch with the music industry? Do you think I'm paying the whole people in the supermarket to do this with me? Now watch this. This is another thing. I started seeing people walking around me more and more and more in all these weird, strange ways. Like, try walking down the street at like 2 in the morning like that. No, it wasn't 2 in the morning. It was like 11 o'clock. But still, that's just strange and awkward. I started noticing people standing like that everywhere, which I could prove with my videos, all the pictures I've taken. Because sometimes I take pictures and it's not a video. And like I told you, if you think this is a lot of evidence, you should see the other 90%. And like I told you, there is a common theme with dogs and little girls and all this weird stuff where they're trying to insinuate with this good vibes and woof. They want to insinuate that I have to be a girl and a dog. If you combine every single sign they've ever done, you combine every single message, they've done so much crazy and insane stuff that you just gotta bear with me. They've even sent me a a sign on, I call them signs, evidence, whatever, on YouTube about the guy said that his inner circle was after me and that he's watching me and that my evidence won't do anything or something. I think another one said. I mean, this is getting to the point where I need a human to be like to literally give up their life and all the religious stuff that I talked about last time I was here. Carry your crucifix, carry your cross. Those who seek their lives will lose it. And it's to the point where I feel bad for humans because they're so blinded and distracted that it's like asking a human to give up their life nowadays is like almost impossible. And this is the day where I'm at Burger King and I see, with all the other stuff that's going on, within like 2 or 3 weeks, within a month of all them hunting me every day trying to insinuate I'm a girl, I go to Burger King and of course there's a Burger King person with like reddish hair handing a flower to a little girl because they want to insinuate I should be a little girl. There were times where I started seeing a bunch of people walking around with just like action figures and dolls, and a lot of the dolls had red hair too, or Elmo. I mean, really, really crazy, kooky stuff that's going on. And I need someone. I wish I could have someone help me make a grand video to really condense all this because I don't. I need a human's perspective. I don't get why a human would think this is normal. I mean, each individual case, I would say, might be normal and doesn't prove anything, but when you add everything up all together, it's like a CSI case where it's like people having stuffed animals around you, holding stuffed animals. That's not really that normal. People dyeing their hair red around you, people putting misplacing stuff from the store, people taking stuff that you buy and putting it slightly differently. Having all the common themes among those, something to do with a little girl and a dog, people out there that want to make people sin by making them gay and trans. You happen to be someone who's saying they're Jesus and talking about conspiracy theories, and all of a sudden people come after you. I mean, if you really link all this together, it's that guy underneath all that skin is a literal green demon with a tail and a metaphorical pitchfork staring at me with a name tag that says I'm the devil. And there's a bunch of them, and they're all over Earth, and that they're even in recorded biblical stories called the Nephilim. Now, there are stories about people, the God who people thought was God back then, the sons and daughters of God. It wasn't the God you guys prayed to, that was the devil. The Nephilim were not sons and daughters of God, they were demons that were procreating with mankind and humankind in order to create some sort of slave race where they could control people easier through their DNA. I know it sounds crazy and insane, but it's actually real. Does that look normal? He has a bow tie on like a little girl. I started seeing these dolls. He has a cross on. They want to make me think that that guy's like a Jesus and he's like dressed like a little kid. He might as well be. He might as well wear a name tag that says I'm a pedophile. Now, if you don't believe me about them talking subliminally, now look at this. The door's locked. And then look at this. A screw. Because they're telling me to screw. Do you understand how they speak to me? With all these movies and all these books. Now, like I said, this is 10% of the evidence. What I need from you, if you really are getting interested in this, you need to go and watch my video. It's an hour and 17 minutes long. In fact, I'd say watch all my videos and dedicate your life to it. This isn't interesting to you. Even if you're into conspiracy theories, religion, if you're into anything, even I mean, I'd say even psychology, if you're interested in, you should like this because I study them. At the same time, I'm trying to turn them in and save the universe. If you're into aliens, demons, ghosts, anything, this should be interesting to you. It's like a if you're in a ghost, think about like I'm being haunted. That doesn't that's the that's a 24-hour store, by the way. It's randomly closed one day. The one day where I didn't have money to eat because I ran out of money. And then I needed to use the microwave because I had like $2 to buy something I need a microwave. I need to go in there for the microwave. It happens to be closed. Like they're messing with me. Like they're hunting me. I mean, they're literally after me because of all the stuff I know. Now look at this. I mean, this is the type of stuff I study. And all of a sudden people come after me. They're not God. They're literally the devil. Now, let's look at this. They're obviously they're after me for what I talk about and the fact that I'm positive. Telling the Bible and religion. Now this they live obey. Look that up, and that's exactly what's going on. You'd have to be some sort of psychic to be able to understand what's really going on, honestly. I know it doesn't make sense, like, why psychic? Trust me. Look up this video. And they're after me? Does this not seem suspicious? Look at this. Coming ashore soon. Do you remember right before coronavirus, there was a Corona commercial that said coming ashore soon before it was even announced? Is that not something called predictive programming? Do you not understand why the government would be after someone like this? I'm not a foreign agent. I'm not evil. I'm not trying to destroy the government. I'm really just talking about religion. This represents my feelings about Satan. If you pause this and read it, you'll understand why they're after me. And just look at my page if you want to read it. Do you understand why these people might be after me? This stuff is too smart. And I don't mean to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm Jesus. Um, Mainstream media threat to freedom and sanity. All this stuff is the stuff that Illuminati would literally kill someone because about. But they have this weird obsession with making me into a girl and a dog and a sacrifice. They want me to think that that's what I should be, and I'm just another infiltrator, so I saved it on my page. I'm not one of them. I'm the one turning them in. And if they're already in the government, why would I even need to be doing this? So, like, I'm fearing another Nazi Germany in America and all over the world using strange stuff like they're going to be after conservatives, they're going to be after conspiracy theorists, they're going to be after anyone who's ever used a racial word, they're going to be anyone who ever even, like, so much has done anything wrong. And how can they get every single person on Earth to hate someone? They're trying to use race. Let's look up Tom McDonald. Now, these movies, believe it or not, have signs and codes because, like I told you, I'm Jesus and I put codes everywhere. And they're my enemy. I was able to infiltrate music and movies and TV shows and songs and even just everything so that when I got back, I could prove to everyone that I'm not a human. Snowpiercer really is Willy Wonka if you look it up, just so you know. And the reason why there's an H here and it says they made me do it, this 7, God's favorite number, look up. Seven, seven, seven. What Satan wants is a one world totalitarian authoritarian dictatorship run by lizard reptilian people where there's an invisible class of reptilian people who don't really feel pain and just kind of take up votes and take up space. And the humans are a slave race where their pain is harvested and all that is alive is people in pain. And those reptilian people are just sociopathic, demonic entities that harvest your pain for fun, like your chickens in a coop. And they are trying to make everyone hate each other. They're trying to make everyone far left liberals to make everyone not just sin, but also make it so that everyone will be miserable and think that there's racism and transphobia everywhere, which there is, but it's to the point where they just want to take away everyone's guns and free speech and lead the world into a new world order. The idea that all this is impossible and that it can't be real is exactly why I have you on this page with me right now. Now, let's look up what optimism bias is. Your brain has a built in optimism bias. The phenomenon is also referred to as the illusion of invulnerability, unrealistic optimism, and a personal fable. This bias leads us to believe that we are less likely to suffer from misfortune and more likely to attain success than reality would suggest. Now, I'd say it's a variant of all that. What I'm talking about, it's a form of, a branch off of optimism bias, in that um, you all think this can't be true, basically because you think it's impossible and it's too crazy to believe. It sounds like a movie. It sounds like specifically a sci-fi movie. You've been trained your whole life to think that someone who says they're Jesus and that there's a they after them must be insane. Not might be, but must be. And that that's the only conclusion, even when there's evidence. Now, if you look up, hold on. Now, I'm trying to say here is the reason why you guys all would think that this is impossible, what I'm talking about, is because it's not social subversion, what I'm talking about, but it's a form of subversion, an optimism bias, and almost denial and wanting to feel superior, and so many weird subconscious reasons inside of your human brain why you can't see what I see, even though it's so obvious the reasons why people will be after me, and also how they're after me. Because you can't accept that there's actual real demonic aliens walking around pretending to be human. You can't accept that they'd be after someone like me. You can't accept that someone like me would be Jesus Christ. You expect, I mean, for religions, it's something different. It's a form of subversion, it's a form of optimism bias, it's a form of denial, it's a form of just not wanting me to be Jesus, and it's a form of the fact that people have been reading stories about me that would make me seem way more powerful than I am because of what demons did. I can't make bread fall from the sky, and I can't turn water into wine. Those were metaphors for making people more grateful and mindful when they ate less, and it was also to do with helping people see God better when I healed their blindness and see God and know that God is real and give them faith. It was all metaphors that Satan wanted people to take out of context so that when I got back, you guys would be expecting someone to be magic and all powerful when what I have mostly is knowledge and wisdom. And even the whole thing with God not wanting wisdom, that's not true. God wants everyone to be wise and religious, but only in the way that he considers wise and religious, and not arrogant or misinformation or information that he doesn't want humans to have. Um, so that's why all you people, probably don't see what I see, even though it's so obvious. I mean, who else would Satan be after, other than someone who's saying they're Jesus? Besides people who talk about the stuff I talk about, and talking about the government, and all of a sudden, I mean, it's already enough provocation that the government will be after me. Let alone if the government's run by Satan, then, I mean, the very tip top of the government, at least, is run by Satan. All you humans in the government should be on my side. Every single person in the whole world should be on my side. And the Illuminati is real. It's basically like an alien invasion that I'm reporting on. And no one cares because they're so. It's like the aliens are just blending in like Men in Black. They're just blending in like that scene with like the grandma and it's like a green monster underneath. That's what these people are. And I bet that, I mean, I bet they have technology so good where they're so much more advanced than humans that you never know what they're capable of. But it's like we're chickens in a coop together. I had to put myself down here on purpose to try and help everyone. And if no one can see, I mean, it's like the movie They Live. Or I will make another video to this. It won't be a part 2, but I'll make it explaining why and how you guys don't believe me, even though it's so obvious that what I'm saying is true. You've all been blinded. And I'll heal your blindness if you follow every single thing I say. Like the Matrix, the red pill and the blue pill. I'm giving you guys the red pill whether you like it or not.